Good morning, Rabbi Sai. Welcome to all the guests. These are our new sponsors. Claire, it's a jewelry concierge, and Top Security Alarms are Top Security Alarms. Paris, Chessel, and Herman. Well, we know our friend Mike Chessel from the Everglades. And this one is also new. Thank you, Reb Eli, for all you do for each individual as well as the cloud as a whole. Keep up your amazing work. Anonymous. Shkoyach. All right, they're coming in. We're about to not lose money on this. Be'ezer Hashem. So this an Israeli guy sent me this about the Malika. I thought it was cool. I wish I had a bird like that for that. There was a pigeon I saw on Amazon, but it was too late to get like a life-size pigeon that's actually cute. So he says that Muter Tzavara is different than what I said. He believes he tucks the head underneath. Let's see. Tucks it under the finger, and like this, it's stuck there. And then with the other finger, you do it. Rams are described by rise and run. 1 amma rise for every 3 ammas run. Givaldik. By the way, I'm still showing your Daf Yomi video every Monday through Friday morning in our first Seder Beis Merge in Kinwood, Pennsylvania. At 8 a.m. So far, we have 1 regular attendee, me. Does that qualify as a satellite location?
Yeah. We had last night this year.
Oh, so in the Hebrew, every day, the Dave Sharfman, he goes and he highlights one place. Highlights one place. We talk to him for a few seconds, and then the following day, we show them again for a second or two, like they're on the screen with the new guys. Then we talk to the new guys, and then the following day, the new guys. So yesterday, for some reason, I don't know why. Stop. Why did you do it, Dave? What was the pshat? He highlights a place. There's nobody there, and you see a guy running around trying to set up the camera. But then when he zoomed out, there were 4 people there. It was funny. It's like we're looking at just a bunch of bottles of soda and beer. Shalom, Rebelli. I want to thank you very much for clarifying the shurim and also for the AI. Thank you so much. I learned Daf Yomi. I started in the month of Kislev about 2 years ago. I began at age 14. I'm 16. Feels like Mein Olam Haba. The concept again. Once I heard about you, it lit up. It added so much encouragement. If I could do it at my age, anybody could do it. Shmuel Meshulam. Mordechai Hanover. Yom Meir, soldier back. I like this story a lot. This mamish. There's something you can learn from this guy. So Mordechai Hanover is talking about this holy Yid. Quick story about him. Last year he was told they would be on the basement Taj Sukkot. His wife and kids were going to spend Sukkot at her parents. He had 2 days off before Sukkot. He spent those 2 days building a sukkah at his home that no one would use, so that his children would understand the mitzvah and enjoy and be the part of it. Another note about this holy Yid: every request he had for money, he never took for himself. He always gave to others. Arranging packages for family, soldiers that don't have money, arranging yontif gifts to the wisest soldiers, on and on. Truly holy Yid, here he is. What's his name again, this kid, this Yid?
Binyamin Meir.
Oh, Binyamin Meir, thank you. Here's Binyamin Meir learning Torah. This individual offered to bring like a larger type of mizbeach. I said yes, it has fire and smoke coming out of it, it's Kavalka stuff, so Be'ezer Hashem is bringing it here. Listen to this, Rabbi said we need everybody's help. I'm 74 years old and I started with MDY for Hirius. I listen to you religiously and I'm current. I plan on arriving in Israel on Tuesday. Is that today? Yes. And was trying to find a ride from Shleimer HaKodesh to attend. I should have read this yesterday, but I didn't get it. I was very disappointed to hear that in order to get into the Beis Medrash, I would have to climb 25 difficult, steep steps. In my physical conditions, just started my 5th year of chemotherapy.
I think it's 28
26 and 2.
28, you guys count? Hold on, anybody else that's below the age of 70, did they count? So you three guys know. It's 28. Are they difficult and steep?
No.
Yes, they're steep steps.
He just was telling me today about it.
Oh, you also counted them?
You need a lot of madrigas to get up there.
You need a lot of madrigas to get up here. Remind me your name again. Shalom Aleichem. What's your name?
David Biller.
From Biller with a B? From Muncie. You perhaps have a secret passageway that can use to attend the shir. The answer is yes. We're going to schlep him up. 100%. Avram Juravel, Spring Valley, New York. Got it. Want the nothing but the daf shir? MBTD. Just send the bat. MBTD and daf. Yesterday somebody sent me from Reb Sruli's shir. They have a this. So somebody said, how do I get the charts? I need charts. They said, here's the bat number. Take this bat number, you'll get the charts. Rabbi Zevachim is sponsored by David Solomon, dedicated in memory of Avi Meir, Shmuel Baruch, Berim Chaim Tzvi, Dov Zuchron Levracha. The Masech is sponsored, anonymous Lili Nishmas, Doidi Shlomi Yehuda, Zuchron Levracha, Shmuel Chaim Zuchron Levracha, Shogav Elam, Kodjem Kol Chayav. Anonymous Zech Nishmas, Nochem Tzvi Ben David. Sponsored by Skybrook Capital, in honor of our friends Meir Kovacs, Taki, and Shamshi Shlafrak for the devotion Torah study and the shir. Joe Gedalius, Lilishmas, my father, Jack Gedalius. Anonymous, Hatzlach Beruchni Subagashmius. Monthly sponsors, Anonymous, Brochad Lidai, Barsinisim and Shoshana Leo, Yehuda Binyamin Ben Chava, Tzvi Jacobs for Refuah Shlemo, for Brocha Bat Chana. Weekly sponsors, Anonymous, Refuah Shlemo for Tinoik Ben Chana Ilana, Omei and Ushi Weissman to Anonymous, by Anonymous, in memory of Anonymous. Daily sponsors, Joel Mizrahi, Todal Hashem, Shosel Elam, Kotzach Kenu. Mami Tati Gindorf, happy anniversary to Nachman and Malki Luben, a dedicated MDY couple. Mazel Tov. Mary Davidovici, Mazal Tov to my husband Ilan Davidovici on his 50th birthday today. Keep on daffing. He doesn't look 50, right? Looks like he's 30. Daily sponsor, Shlafrak family, in memory of their mother and grandmother, Chana, Bas, Avram, Alea, Shalom. And Shalom should have an aliyah in celebration of Chaim Grossman's birthday. Chov Zayin Cheshvan, Mazel Tov. From your family. Mark Ashkenazi, Lili Nishmas, my very dear friend and fellow MD Wire, Yonem Michal, Ben Reb Yehuda Leiba, Olav Shalom, on his second yahrzeit. The Shoma should have an aliyah. The Friedman brothers, happy birthday to our dear friend Chaim Badner. Chaim Shimal Hashem Kol Mashalis Libchol Toivo Bebrios Admei VeEsrim Amen. Chaim is his name. And the way monthly Refuah Shlemo for Yonatan Eitan Ben Beshev Bracha, who came to 4 shiurim in a row, I think, like 2 Hebrew, 2 English. Refuah Shlemo Mordechai Ben Esther. Refuah Hayelet Daniel Zev Ben Hayelet Esther. Boisai, we're starting from the Mishnah in the middle of Samach Dalanam and Beis. Easy stuff today. Mamish, the whole Zevachim is just easy and geschmack. Says the Mishnah, why are you guys laughing? You guys get stuck in the Pigel Sugya? Don't worry, we'll bring you back today for 3-4 minutes. No, it's all good. It's all good.
The return.
It has to come in once in a while.
Popular demand.
Popular demand. Oh, and a mazel tov to Rebbe Shafnes, made a bar mitzvah yesterday. Mazel tov, mazel tov. Oila sa'oif, ketzin nasis. So a woman, let's say, gives birth. She has to, one of the korbanos she brings is a bird. Oila. What's the procedure? Allah lakevesh upana lasoivev. He goes up the ramp and makes a right turn, and that's it. That's where he stops. Right there on the first corner. Bala lekeren dremis mizrachas. It's called southeast corner. We spoke a lot about the southwest corner. That's opposite that corner, obviously. They're both on the south side. The south side is the side of the ramp. So if you make a right turn, you would hit the southeast. If you make a left turn, you would hit the southwest corner. Sometimes you make a left right away. Sometimes you go all the way around the Mizbech to get to the southwest corner. Most of the time you go all the way around. So if I were to ask you, what are the differences that you could come up with between, 5 empty seats on this? Listen, if they can't keep it, they're going to lose it. We're going to fill it up with people that actually sit there. What are the differences between a chatos and an oila bird? Both birds. What is the difference? Anybody?
One's below the line, one's above the line.
Oh, above the line and below the line. And what did you just say? The head. What about the head? The oila, you take off the head, and the chatas, you don't take off the head. Anybody else? That's the same thing as the head. Cutting 2 simonim means take off the head. It's the same thing Rashi says. You don't really take off the head. You cut 2 simonim. What else? Oh, someone, huh?
One's eaten by the kahanim.
Oh, the oila you don't eat, and the chatas you do eat. What else? We just said. What do you say? Mitzui. So what's that? How do you say it? The chatas also has a shtickle mitzui. If there's hazah or no hazah, the sprinkling or no, and what else? Also, what place on the mizbeach do you do it on? The oila you do on the south. Oila, we're just reading now. Oila, southeast, and a chatas on the. So here's the little list I put together. The oila you do above the red line, the chatas you do below the red line. The oila doesn't have a zah, chatas has a zah. Oila, you chop the head off or you cut the 2 simonim. Chatas says it's also to cut the head. The oila completely goes onto the mizbeach. The chatas, the kohen eats. The oila is on the southeast corner. Unless there is overflow, there's too many chatois on the southeast, so then you could also use the southwest, and that's where you throw 30 amma. By the way, there was the feathers were here, so the koil guys were trying. They took even the one that I threw, the purple one, they couldn't get it, right? Mendy, what was the furthest they were able to throw it? I heard you did the best.
Not like you.
Not like I have it here. Where's my thing? They said it was a nace. It's not a nace. You just have to know how to. It's in my thing. What?
I got emails about my shot.
But it wasn't as far as mine.
I'll tell you what. You set it for a Gary. You set it off. You set it to the wall. I'll get your shot.
Now it's going to go backwards. Watch.
I could have done like your shot.
It's stuck a nace.
Gary, you said. Let's go, Gary.
Yeah.
Wasn't it? You see from here, I'm worried to get side that when I have to demonstrate. Mom's looking first grade over here. One kid is throwing things at the Rebbe, the next kid is poking his ear. Okay, anyway, wow. Nisim, it went all the way down to it hit the coffee thing yesterday. So what do you see? What do you see? Huh? No, it's the same. No, same exact. Here, this also. Oh, there's something in it or no? No.
Should I try now?
Yeah.
Okay, weiter.
No, but honest, there's a certain. I'm serious. A lot of times I never tried the thing before, and I come into shir, works perfectly. Then I try it afterwards, doesn't. It's a siyatas ma'av tzibur. Okay. Wow.
Not like to throw the rubbers and tap your
It worked, but it worked twice, both shiurim, Hebrew and English. Says.
Next to some guts.
Yeah, of course. It's with guts. Of course it's easier. But 60 feet. I'm not talking about 5 feet, 10 feet, 20. All the way to there is 30 feet, 20 feet. You have to do 60 feet. So let me just show you. Here we have a video, and then we don't even have to do the whole Mishnah. You guys, you can continue. No spitballs, Rabbi Yisai. Here we go. Check this out. It's beautiful. Oh, now you saw how timeout. I got to go back. Why I have to go back? Because it's very important. He doesn't go up the ramp to the top. He has to take the first exit. He takes the first exit halfway because he's going to the soivev. To get to the soivev, to go to the ledge, you can't go all the way up to the top. You go to the top, you miss the ledge. The ledge is halfway up. So he has to take the exit. Here, so he takes the exit off. And that's the corner he's at. He does his thing. He does the malika, b'chulu. Oh. There's the mitzui on that corner. Now, he has to separate the head, right? The head and... What happened over there?
Yeah, that's only the head, man.
Oh, it's only the head. He goes and dunks it in salt. There's a thing of salt on the mizbeach. He puts it in salt, and then he tosses it into the fire, into the marocha. Then he has to redo the whole thing. He has to do that same thing, the same process with the body. First he does the head, then he does the body. I saw the Chazon Ish says the Mamish goes all the way around and he's walking 300 meters according to the Chazon Ish. Kobe added that. He did the salt to the thing because we didn't have salt yesterday by the Hebrew. Okay?
But he had the head on it.
What?
He was supposed to have the head on it. But if you look closely, he had the head.
If you look closely, there's a head? No, not when he dunked it in the salt. Not in the salt. Okay. I mean, maybe when he put it onto the fire. Really? Because it wasn't, okay, so then it wasn't, what happened was, it wasn't in the shear at all. The artist didn't put it in. And I said, but he has to dunk it in salt. So, here, there's no head. Right here, there's no head. No head. There's no head here. Let's see, I'll zoom in. See, there's no head. There's a hole. There's no head. And then keep on going. No, go by. Now there might be a head. I don't know. No, there's no head here. No head. Okay, no head. Kashas of even the kashas in the video, but this one wasn't a kasha. Okay. He would do malika in the back of the neck, umavdil, and he separates the head from the body. In other words, what does it mean separate the head from the body? It means to go through the two simanim, the trachea and the esophagus, the cut and the veshet. Umitza is doma al kermizbeach. There's no hazah. He goes and he gives a good kvetch with the body on the wall of the mizbeach. Not on the wall of the heichal, not on the wall of the ramp, on the wall of the mizbeach. Not on the roish. He takes the head. V'hikiv beis milikasal mizbeach. He goes and he puts the head on the v'hikiv over here is the lotion of to put it on the wall. So he does mitzui. Usfagay b'melach. Then he goes and how do you say sfagay? He okay. Sfagay really means to absorb. But he dunks it into the salt b'melach. Uzrokoy al gabe ishim, and then he throws it onto the fire of the marocha and the mizbeach. Balei laguf. He comes back after he's on top of the mizbeach. To get to the top, he has to go down the small ramp, the exit ramp, and come back up the main ramp. He does that whole thing back. Balei laguf stayed on the corner of the mizbeach, on the southeast corner, right there where he did the malika. He left it. He leaves it lying there. Yeah, you have to leave it lying there. Balei laguf. He comes back to the body. The only issue we have is that what if there's other koyanim there? So they probably had barcodes and different things, scan, and this is mine, that's yours, or different, I don't know. And then he opens up the body of this animal, of this bird, and he takes out the mura. So yesterday, Rav Weisfish was kind enough to send me a picture of the mura, here, which is the zepek, here, the zit, the crop. Vesanoitzo. So we're going to learn. We're going to see two pshatim in the word noitza. Noitza in Hebrew means a feather. So you take the feather with it. We'll show you how it's done. And he takes the kishkes out. And he tosses it, as you saw yesterday, into the Beis Hadeshen, which is an area 10 amma down the ramp, next to the ramp, and it absorbs all these things miraculously. Derech nes, it goes into the ground. Let me see if I have my bird here. I hope I don't. Oh, I do. No? Maybe the cleaning lady threw it out. I don't know. Okay. So shisav just means that you take it and you rip it open. You, with your hands, you open up the bird. But you don't open it up that much that it separates completely. You don't want to make two parts out of it. You just pop it open. Kosher, but if you were too strong and you ripped it apart, it's kosher. You submerge it in salt, then this part also you toss into the ma'arach on the mizbeach. If you didn't do one of the avodas that occurs after the mitzui adam, which is like the zrika, And we know the zrika is like the final matter. It's the thing that counts most. So if you didn't do those other things, it's not the end of the world. You didn't take out the crop, and the feather, if you didn't take out the innards, you didn't dunk it in salt. Since these are all things that happen after the mitzvah adam, which is like the zrika, kshera, it's still kosher. We're moving on to the chatas. Hivda b'chatas, if you took off the head of the chatas bird, which the Torah says lo yavdil, you should not, so it's pasul. V'lo hivdil ba'oila, or you did not remove the head of the oila, which you should remove. In other words, you should go through the two simanim. And by chatas doesn't mean literally removing the head. It means you went too far. You went through two simanim, through the trachea and the esophagus. Pasul. No good. Mitzvah's dama rosh v'le mitzvah dama guf psula. If you only squeezed out the head of the oila and not that of the body, pasul. Mitzvah dama guf. But if you squeezed out the blood from the body of the oila v'le mitzvah dama rosh kshera. The Gemara is going to explain that most of the blood, it's actually a pasuk. That's the ikr. The body is the ikr. The head is the tafel. Oh, now if you recall, this is easy stuff. When you bring an oila, let's say, you bring an oila, and you think to yourself, the kohen thinks to himself that it's not an oila, it's a shlamim. What's the halacha? That's called loy l'shma. The halacha is it's okay. The owner didn't get a kapara, you would have to bring another, or let's say he promised an oila, you'd have to bring another oila. But you continue the avodah, you continue putting everything on the mizbeach, you continue the zrika, the whole thing, it's a good carbon. The only two karbanos that if you mess up on what it is are ruined are the chatos and pesach. That is where do we see this? First Mishnah of Zevachim. Kol Zevachim shenizbuchu shaloi l'shman ksherim el shaloi la'alu l'baylam shem chayva. It's kosher if you switch the type of carbon it is. Chutz me pesach v'chatos. So by the way, a bird chatos is like an animal chatos. So if you mess up, you think to yourself that this is an oila bird, not a chatos bird, take this bird, toss it into the garbage, wherever the garbage is, not a literal garbage, you put it on a special garbage heap over there. It's not a good chatos. But if the reverse, if you have an oila bird, and you thought to yourself it's a chatos, it would be okay. The owner would have to bring another one. So says the Mishnah. Now, it's very important if you think about it. What are the four avodas of a carbon? Shchita. What comes after shchita? Kabbalah, and after that, Halacha, and after that, zrika. What happens by a bird? What do we have? We have milika, which is like shchita. What else do we have? Mitzui. What about Kabbalah and Halacha? Don't exist. So there's only two avodas by a bird. So therefore, the first avoda is to do malika, to shecht it. I mean, they can't say shecht. Well, what would be a better word in English? No, to how do you say shchita? To slaughter. You slaughter it, so it doesn't matter how you slaughter. There's a shchita from the front, malika is from the back. Okay. So if you did malika by a chatas, you thought to yourself that it's a oila, that's it. It's done. Pasul. Mitzvah dama shalei lishma. And what's the other option? That you had that thought during the mitzvah, the blood on the wall. Shalei lishma. You thought to yourself, it's not a chatas, it's a oila. Lishma v'shalei lishma. Let's say in the malika itself, you thought to yourself, it's a chatas, and then you thought to yourself, no, it's a oila. You thought to yourself, it's a oila, and then you thought to yourself, chatas. Doesn't matter which one you thought first. Psula, all these cases is pasul. Why? Because a chatas, you cannot think about another type of carbon during a chatas. Doesn't matter if it's an animal or a bird. But if you thought to yourself while you're doing an oila, you thought to yourself it was a chatas, it's kosher. But it doesn't work for the owner, you'd have to bring another one. Kosher just means you continue being makriv it. Oh, Echad chatas ha'oiv, echad oilas ha'oiv, shemelakon, u'shemitzah is daman. Those are the two avodas Rabbi Yisai, melika and mitzui. That's the only two times. Lechol davar shedarki lechol. So let's talk about lishma here. I mean, pigul. 3 minutes, that's it. Not a lot of... Here, just to remind the Olam. What is pigul? Just in the simplest terms, pigul is, let's say you have an animal that you could eat for 2 days. It's a shlamim. You're allowed to eat it for 2 days. So the kohen who's doing the shechita, he thinks himself he's going to eat it in 3 days from now. 1 more day after you're allowed to eat it. It's outside of its allotted time. Instead of you're allowed to eat it for 2 days, he thinks himself he's going to eat it for 3 days. He's going to make a bris for his kid in 7 days. He's going to eat it then. You could have that thought during shechita. You could have that thought during here. It has to be during one of the 4 avodas. You can have that thought while you're shechting, while you're doing Kabbalah, while you're doing halacha, and while you're doing zrika. What thought? It could be anything that has to do with eating. I'm going to make a barbecue in 4 days. Or I am going to put this meat on the mizbeach in 4 days, because that's a type of eating. Why is that eating? Because the mizbeach is eating the meat. I'm going to do the zrika in 4 days, because zrika is also a type of eating. I'm going to do the shirayim in 4 days from now. That's also a type of here. So it just shows you. It's 2 tnaim, two conditions. I'm going to do zrika, I'm going to do shirayim, fine. 30 more. That's just to make it more complicated. But just pudge, if you want to just get it the easiest form, while he's doing shechita, he thought to himself he's going to make a barbecue, which is the last condition on the number 2. On condition number 1 is shechita, and 4-2. So that's the easiest one. While he's doing shechita, he's thinking to himself he's going to make a barbecue with this meat, like this video right over here. This is a fast version of it. Yeah, not the whole thing.
היי, זה אני. ילדתי בן, הכל בסדר ברוך השם. תתחיל לארגן את הברית.
מזל טוב!
תגיד, אני מוזמנת לברית?
כן, בטח. את תגיעי, על מגש.
So that machshava that he's going to eat it in 7 days is pigul.
Okay.
And now, because he can't do a bris, he's going to eat it now. So if he eats it now he gets kares. By eating it, he gets kares. But the machshava pigul happened before that. You're over the isser before. You get kares after. Now, we said always, and we're just going to, seriously, it's only like three minutes here. 2 minutes. 2 minutes left. Pigul is super sensitive. In order to be over on pigul, it has to be a thought of just pigul. Just pigul. You can't involve any other bad thoughts. You want to be over this avera, you want to go through the whole Torah and say, I was over on Chil Shabbos, I was over on, I ate at McDonald's, and now I want to be over on pigul. So you have to make sure that you think this thought, that you're going to eat it outside of its allotted time, and that's it. But if once you add another thought, let's say I'm going to eat it outside its allotted place, where I'm only allowed to eat the shlamim in Yerushalayim, and he thought to himself, well, I'm going to eat it in Bet Shemesh, boom, you ruined the pigul. It can't be pigul now. Even though you thought to yourself, I'm going to eat it in Bet Shemesh in 7 days from now, you said I'm going to eat it in 7 more days, that's pigul. But since you said in Bet Shemesh, it knocks off the pigul. Pigul has to be pure, just, I'm going to eat it outside of its allotted time. And therefore, the Mishnah gives us like 6 cases of the same exact idea. So it goes like this. And by the way, it's all Chazara. It's all stuff that we learned before. Here, look. This is just Maisa is the Shechita Kabbalah, and he has a thought. What's his thought? While he does one of these 4 things, we discussed. This is what we just discussed. He thought he's going to eat a barbecue, or he thought he's going to do zrika. Fine. What else could I show you to confuse you? Okay, give out. Oh, here. Chutz l'makom. Chutz l'zman. Chutz l'zman means he's going to eat it in 7 days from now. You put it in the freezer. That you get kares if you eat it. Chutz l'makom means I'm going to eat it outside of Yerushalayim. That makes it possible. There's no kares on that. Chutz l'makom, chutz l'zman. Pigul that we're discussing is the one on the right. Chutz l'zman. So here goes. Echad chatas. So what is it? 7, 8 lines from the bottom. Echad chatas ve'echad chatas soif ve'echad oil soif. So all these halachas that we learned in the beginning of Masechta apply exactly the same way to a bird. Shemalakam Shemit says dam lechol davar shedarkoid lechol. But there's only two avodas by a bird. There's only the milika and the mitzvah. So these machshavas have to occur during those two avodas. So either shabalakan, he did milika, v'shemitzas dama, or he squeezed the blood out of the wall, and he thought to himself, lechol davar shedarki lechol. What do you eat? Which one of the birds are you eating? Only the chatas, not the oila. Ulahak the davar shedarki lahaktir. Mainly the oila is what you're maktir, little part of the chatas. Chuzim kaimah. He thought to himself he's going to eat it in Bet Shemesh. Pasul ve'im beikaris. Thinking that thought during those two avodas, either milika or mitzvah adam, makes it possible. But there's no severe punishment of karis. But if he thought to himself he's going to eat this chatos karban bird. He wants to serve it at a Yerushalmi wedding. Till this very day, they serve pigeon at Yerushalmi weddings to the chassan and kal in the yichrum. So he's going to use it next week at a chasana he has. That's chutz l'zman. Pigul v'chayavim olav kars. You chayav kars for that. As long as you do everything correctly. What does that mean? Keitzad karav amater. So we know what a mater is. Mater means that when you do this, you have to do malika. You have to do mitzvah adam. Once you do mitzvah adam, that's it. That's the matter. From that point on, you could eat the bird. From that point on, you're yaitza. Even if you mess up, we said even if you didn't put the salt, you weren't makriv, whatever, it's still a good carbon. Okay, it's a carbon matrikim mitzvah. How does it work? Malak b'shtika. If the first avodah of milika you didn't have a bad thought, it doesn't matter. Why? Because the second avodah you had a bad thought. Umitzvah adam chutz l'zmanoi. But when you did the mitzvah adam, your thought was to eat it in 4 days from now. No good. It's possible. Or he started off thinking he's going to eat it in 4 days from now. But the second avodah of the squeezing of the blood, he didn't think that. You don't have to think it in all the avodas. It's enough to think in one out of the two. Or he did think in both of them. That for sure is chutz zman. That's a good pigul. This is mamish. He's a tzaddik. He's a Rosh Gomer. He did that very perfectly, beautiful. Okay, it's a loy karav amatrikim mitzvah. There's a lot of language here that for the simple, just a simple idea. Malak chutzlim koimoi. If he started off thinking to himself he's going to eat it in the wrong place in Bet Shemesh. And also, in addition to that, he thought he's going to eat it in 4 days from now. Or he started off Shamal Chutzazman, he thought he's going to eat it in 4 days from now. In other words, it doesn't matter, according to this man, the Omar, it doesn't matter which one came first. The Chutzazman came first, and then the Chutzazmakim. Or the Chutzazmakim came first, and then the Chutzazman. That's not a good pigul. Why is it not a good pigul, Rabbi Isai? Because he added another thought. There's two thoughts here instead of just a pure thought of pigul. And this is mamish, not pigul. Both of them were chutz l'makom, so there's zero pigul there. There's no chutz l'zman over here. What if only a chatas bird, is there a problem of l'shma, we said? A oila bird, there's no problem of l'shma. That was the first mission in Zevachim. Chadas oiv, about an animal. Now we're talking about a bird. Chadas oiv shemalaka shalei l'shma. So he had a bad thought. He thought to himself, it's not a chatas bird, it's an oila bird. Umitzu adam chutz zmanoi. So does the thought of shalei l'shma ruin the thought of pigul? Yes. It has to be a pure thought of pigul. He thought pigul. Or he started off beautifully. The Aveira was going well. He thought he's going to eat this outside of its allotted time in 4 days from now. But then he ruined it by umitza dami shel yishma. He thought that it's not a chatas, it's an oila. He did both of the avodas thinking that it's a oila, not a chatas. He didn't do the Aveira like he was supposed to. He's not going to get kares nebuch. So now the Mishnah is just telling us that in order to do pigul, you need a kezayis, like everything else in the world, chametz, everything kezayis. So if his thought was one kezayis in Bet Shemesh, one kezayis in 4 days from now, kezayis l'mocher, kezayis b'chutz, or he reversed it. The first gezayis was in 4 days from now. Second gezayis I'm going to eat in Bet Shemesh. Or kechatzi zayis b'chutz, kechatzi zayis l'machar. So now over here you don't have the shear. You have only a half a shear. They don't combine. Kechatzi zayis l'machar, kechatzi zayis, even if they did combine, it's two different machshavas. So therefore, you don't get cars. Kechatzi zayis l'machar, kechatzi zayis l'machar, kechatzi zayis b'chutz. Possible bein by cars. You don't get cars. But it's possible. Omer Rabbi Yehuda Zakla. Rabbi Yehuda argues, and we have the same argument when it comes to an animal. So he says, whoa. If you thought to yourself you're going to eat it outside of the allotted time, then it becomes pigul. The fact that you added 7 minutes later or thought that you're going to eat it in a chemish, that doesn't ruin it. You already were over the avera. The avera is in. How are you going to undo an avera? Then it's pigul. Then you do get cars. However, but if you thought that you're going to eat it in Bet Shemesh, came before the thought of Zman, that's when you ruin the machshava of pigul. Then you don't have pigul. Possible mikaris. Is it possible mikaris? Just a repeating. Now, lecho kechatzi zayis ulahaktir kechatzi zayis. Now he's confusing two things. I'm going to eat a half a kezayis on a barbecue, and I'm going to put a half a kezayis on a mizbeach. I would think, but Rabbi Isai, I would think they're both eating. One is human consumption, one is the mizbeach's consumption. So maybe the mitzaref? No. Kosher, shein achil v'aktor mitzaref, and they don't go together. Shalom Aleichem, Revid, all the way in the back. You're new here, no? Shalom Aleichem, what's your name?
David Becker.
From?
Lakewood.
Lakewood? Shalom Aleichem, David Becker. Who else? Oh, Shalom Aleichem, what's your name? From? Malayadum, Shalom Aleichem, welcome. Anybody else is a guest there? I didn't notice. You look like a guest, no? No. Zakti Gemara. What? Who? Anybody? No? Okay, good. Tana Rabbana. So now we have mamish, a simple Gemara, a lot of small halachas, just how to do it. We're by the Gemara, where it says Gemara in big letters, or boys say, wake up, if you got all traumatized by the pigul, we're done. We're done with pigul for today. Torah Rabbanan Beikri Voy. The kid? No, I said hello to him. The kid? No, I said hello to him. Torah Rabbanan Beikri Voy. Matamad Loimar Lefi Shenemar. Beikri Voy. If you don't have Nekudas, like me, do not read a Vikrivu, because that would ruin the whole sugya here. Because that would be plural. Beikri Voy is singular. That's why I have nekudas. V'krivoi matam aloymar lefi shenemar v'hikriv is minat toirim. Toirim is plural. Oy min bnei hayoyna, which is also plural. Yochol amistad levoy v'lo yivchos mishnei preidin. If a person is bringing, don't be a cheapskate, or don't be hard on yourself. You're a wealthy guy. You pull up to the Beis Hamikdash in your $200,000 car. You think to yourself, wow, I'm going to go into the Beis Hamikdash now and bring up a lousy bird. That's all I'm going to bring to HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Nah, I'll come back tomorrow with the real thing. No, this is what you have now. This is what you do. You bring one. I would think you have to bring two. Like everything else in the Torah, it's always two. It's the oil and the chatas bird for the woman, for the nazir, for the mitzvah, whoever it is. It's always two. No, you could bring a nedava to the Rebbeinu Shalom. I don't care how wealthy you are. I don't care. You can bring one. The Chavetz Chaim says, you think, like, why does he have to say it? But obviously, he was saying it because it's an issue. He says, sometimes a poor person comes to your house. We don't have it anymore. The last time I remember when I was a kid, we had it a few times. A person would come and say, I'm mamish hungry. And they'd sit down in the kitchen, somebody from Eretz Yisrael collecting whatever. They were hungry. They didn't want money. They just wanted food. He says, if somebody comes to your house and he wants food, don't think to yourself, wow, what a balagan I have in my house. My kids just made such a mess. It's disgusting. And my wife's food is not so stark, especially today. So what am I going to give this poor guy? Go find another house. Says the Chavetz Chaim, no. That only works if he has what to eat and he has another house. But if you're the only house, so what if you have a shvacha house? You have to take him in. With your house and with this shvacha food, you have to give him. The same thing would apply to Torah. You don't say to yourself, oh, I'm going to learn now for 3 minutes. Tomorrow, I'm going to learn for an hour and a half straight. Tomorrow. No. Right now, this is what you have. You have 3 minutes. I'm sure it's happened to some of us here. Like all of a sudden, shkia, you realize you didn't put on your tefillin, so you put it on for 30 seconds. What are you going to say? No, not today. We'll do it tomorrow. You put it on 30 seconds. Is better than zero. Rav Schoenberg, I'm not talking about people like you. Okay, I know it never happened to you. Maybe when you were 13, 15, somewhere in England. Not in the last 50 years, right? No, it's Vasikin. I'm saying, no, sometimes it happens. So with Torah, it's more understandable. You're at the end of the day, you're coming off a vacation, off a long flight. So you open up the Gemara for 3 minutes. That's what the Gemara is saying over here. Just bring whatever it is, whatever you have right now. It says on Mizbeach. So why does it say Kohen? Who could go? We'll see in a second. Only a Kohen could go to the Mizbeach. Yisrael gets the death penalty if he goes to the Mizbeach. So why does it say Kohen? Like Boilei Kohen. Dafka Kohen could perform the Malika. I have a simple kavachomer. When it comes to sheep, even a Yisrael could shecht it, and there's a chumrah. You have to do it only in the north part of the Beis Hamikdash. You don't have to do the Malika Dafka in Safan. And it is certainly, maybe even a Yisrael should be able to do it. That's halacha number one. You need a kohen to do Malika. Another halacha now. We're going from halacha to halacha. Perhaps you should use a knife. Shchita, you need to use a knife. Mendi, don't say. What do you see in the Torah that you have to use a knife by shchita? Good. Where? What do you see in the Torah? By Avram Avinu. It's a macheles. It's a macheles. Shchita, you could do a Yisrael, but you need a knife. I'll just say Rashi brings the Gemara later on. So certainly, Malika, that you need dafka kohen, certainly you should need a knife. It's the kohen's finger, it's him himself that does the Malika. Why do I need a pasuk that kohen does Malika? Look at the pasuk over here. Yisrael should not go close to the Mizbeach. There's a bacher who really wanted a bracha from Rabbi Ovadia Yosef. It's very hard, you can't get a bracha there. He realized that the Kohanim, after they do duchening, they get a bracha from Rabbi Ovadia Yosef. So he decided that he's going to be a kohen for the day. He took a talis and he went up there with everybody else. He didn't say the bracha because he's not to say the bracha. He did a few shakes back and forth. Obviously, he was in the wrong direction. He's looking really okay. And then afterwards, he got a bracha from Rabbi Ovadia. So they asked. Who did they ask? Yeah, they asked Rabbi Zilberstein. Is it Gnevas Das? So he said, if Rabbi Ovadia Yosef knew what this bacher went through to get a bracha, he'd be Michael. He'd be very happy that he did it. So maybe it's not Gnevas Das. He gave him a heter.
But he has to learn more about duchening. That was the end of the tshuva.
Did it really say that in the tshuva? You're making that up now.
No, I heard it.
Really? He has to learn more about duchening. Why?
That's his tshuva.
Because he's
messing up. You mean he shouldn't have been doing that? That part was wrong. I hear. Okay? Oh, you're a zar, you shouldn't come close. The reason it says kohen that it should be done not with a knife, it should be done with the finger of the kohen. That's why, not that you shouldn't have a Yisrael and a kohen, no, that the kohen should do it with his finger. Maybe the oila you can do even on the bottom, the oila bird. Where's Givaldic a picture over there? Yeah, right over here. Not gonna. Yeah, it's above the red line. Why? How do I know it's above the red line, not below the red line, like a chatas bird? Because it says v'hikter. Ma'aktar b'rosham mizbeach. Where do you do the aktar? Where do you throw the bird into the fire? On top of the mizbeach. Have v'hikter b'rosham mizbeach. Another Allah. Umalak mimul oirif. It says it should be, the malika should be done in the back of the neck, not in the front like a chicken. Like we shech today. Maybe it should be in the front like we shech the chicken. We learn it from the chatos. It says by the kan. Kan means by the oila. Umalak. It says by the chatos umalak. It must be done by the back of the neck. Oh, if you're learning from the chatos, so by chatos it says lo yavdil. You're not allowed to separate the two simanim. In other words, you shouldn't separate the head, or fakir. You shouldn't separate the head. In other words, you shouldn't separate the simanim. Maybe by oila you shouldn't separate the head. When you do the aktara, as we showed in the video, you have to bring the head by itself and you bring the body by itself. You're mechuyev to do havdalah, you should be mavdil. Who told you? You're coming with an assumption. Who told you this assumption is true, that the aktara and the body and the head are separate? Because there's extra pasuk. What did it say before that? Another time Victor. But talking about two different haktaras. Haktara 1 of the body and haktara 2 of the head. It doesn't say that he took mid damai, it says damai, kulai. All the blood of the oila gets sprinkled out. Al kir hamizbeach. What? Oh, who's there? Where is that? Where is it?
Los Angeles?
I can't hear. LA. Shalom Aleichem, guys in LA. The mom is shakua.
This is not usual.
Maybe it's just another shir somewhere.
Yeah.
No, when they pick up their head in a second, it's a delay. Here we go. Delay. Okay. Oh, Shalom Aleichem. Here we go. Oh, that's not Joe. I didn't count. It is not. The mom is serious. Snapple. Yeah. Okay, good. It's a real delay. The shear has to go through all those pipes down in the bottom of the ocean, come back up, satellite, this, that. It's a whole situation. But mamish, the guys are serious. We caught you learning Torah seriously, Givaldik. Okay, look at that. It's unbelievable. Al kirem mizbeach v'lo kira kevesh. You sprinkle this blood on the mizbeach, not on the wall, not on the ramp. V'lo kira hechel na hechel. V'izeh zeh kira elyon on the upper wall. Or yener kira tachlim should be on the lower wall. But dinu. We had this logic yesterday, but in the reverse. If you take the animal chatas, just look at the chatas. The animal is above, but the bird is below. And it didn't. So you're looking at the animal itself. You have the animal chatos is above, but the oila animal is below. So the same chatos that is above, but when it comes to a bird, you put it below, and it didn't show lamata, so certainly the oil should be below. So what's pshat? You do malika, and then you burn the head, and then you squeeze the blood. How's it possible? Where's the blood going to come out of the head if you already put it on a fire, in a very intense fire? There's no blood left. To tell us that the aktar is on top of the mizbeach, it should be above the red line. Okay, it's sad. How do you do this? We saw this. Go up the ramp. You come off the ramp on the exit, and you go to the soivev, which is the ledge. You do malika, you separate the two simanim. And you take the blood and you put it on the wall. Afilu ama kshera, beautiful. Check this out. Look at this, beautiful. He's standing above the red line. He bends down and he does the mitzvah below him. He has one ama. It's kosher. Why? Not true. You're not allowed to do it over there. You have to do the mitzvah adam higher up. My benai. What's the machlokes? Beautiful. Rabbi say, if you run out of room on top of the mizbech for whatever reason, there's an issue over there, and you want to make another fire on the ledge, not recommended, it's a fire hazard, but let's say you want to do it. So this is what you do. You make another smaller fire right there. MMA what? Since I'm allowed to make a fire over there according to the Shita, then I'm just going to do the mitzvah right by the fire, right below it. It's beautiful. But if I cannot do the fire over there and the fire is on top, how could I do a mitzvah all the way below? It's too far away. Fakert. This man Omar is going to hold that the mitzvah has to be higher up on the wall. It has to be close. You can't even do it on the lower part of that wall that he's standing on. You hear? That's a little bit of a knetch here. I didn't say this last night. He's going to hold, it has to be close to the fire. An amma below that, I don't know how much, but not all the way down the wall, and certainly not below his feet.
Doesn't he have to walk all the way around and spritz?
Then he won't walk around, he'll jump over. Rabbi say, here we go. We're talking about this is the animal. Here's the zepek, you see the crop, you see the gizzard, the kurkavan, and it looks like this today. This is Weissfish with the zepek. Now, it's interesting. The Rebbeinu Chaya says, and I saw this a few times, that the bird, he steals. He doesn't ask any questions. He flies into your backyard and takes whatever he wants and walks away. Says the Torah, that which contains the gezel, which is that's the first compartment. Everything he eats gets stored there, and then he eats it whole. He eats seeds whole. He doesn't chew. He takes the seed, puts it in there into the zepek, and from there it goes to that part I don't want on the zebech. That's gezel. Get it out of here. I also heard this is very stark. Maybe I should say this. Some people say, "Oh, I don't have hatzlacha with my kids or whatever." So I forgot who said. So you have to be careful. Maybe your whole chinuch, maybe the money you're sending to the cheder for your this is all gneva money. Maybe you made your money from gneva. You got to be careful because it has ashpa on other things. Okay. Binoy tzoytzo, and we're going to see in a second. Zuzef yochal yakti besachting in bitlena. Maybe you should just cut it out. Just pop it out. Tamadoy binoy tzoso. Noitel sanoitza ima. Rabbi say here like this. Everything is in a different order here. Here we go. Check this out. Here's the bird. You cut. It comes out with the zepek, but a little bit of feathers with it. Now check this out. This is important. This is going to throw you off. You take out this crop, and you take the gizzard out also. No, the inside. It's a gizzard. I show you the gizzard. No, here, look at the kurkavan. That's maybe in Hebrew. Look, this is the gizzard. It's a part of the intestines. So now, the pupik. Oh, the inside of the pupik. Okay. Now what we call the belly button. Okay. Now I want to ask you something. According to this man Omar, do you take a feather with it or not? This man Omar says you take the crop plus the gizzard, the pupik, the kurkavan. What about the feather? The answer is no. No feather according to this man Omar. So write this down with your pencil. No feather. Why? Because he learns the word noitza doesn't mean like we know in Hebrew noitza means a feather. He learns noitza, disgustingness. What's disgusting? The kurkavan. By the way, Baruch Ber, he was once shown a kurkavan. He said, somebody asked him, is this treif? He says, what's that? He says, the guy tells him this is a kurkavan. So he says, oi, the heilige kurkavan, the heilige kurkavan. He's never seen a gizzard in his life. And finally he learned it. Finally, 50 years later, somebody showed it to him, like it became a metzias. The Rabbi Shmuel Tana b'noitzasa b'noitza shela chaydru b'sakin kimin aruba. So he says, yeah, you cut it like a window. So some say it's no machlokes between the two shitas, those two shitas. Some say no, they have to be very exact according to the shita. You just mamish a square right where the gizzard is, you pop it out, or the crop. Let's just do this little sugya. Unfortunately, shisa v'lo yivdil. You're supposed to tear it open. You do it with a hand. You don't do it with a knife. That he tore open the lion. I just got to tell you. Yeah, sponsors. When I went on when I walked with the lions, I went on a little thing with my wife. We got to touch lions and everything. So the guy told us you're supposed to take your hand and with all your might, you whack him in the stomach. Pack. You know, like a dog, you go like this and they like it. A lion, he likes when you. I'm telling you, like. take your hand and bang it on the tail as hard as you can. That's what you do to the stomach. Are you sure? He says, I'm sure. I said, is he going to eat me? He says, try, see. I went, bam, in the stomach. And he's like, again, that's what he likes. So the Shasa said this. It's so powerful. You have no musik how powerful this thing is. To tear it open like that, and this is a famous Maisa. Real quickly. Oh, no time for me. Maisa, turn to the daf. Dark global. Linus Reb Zeli ben Reb Avram Meir Meisels. Linus was reviewed the Doy ben Reb Yisrael. And as a schos Fatzloch and Ruchlis and Gashmis. Judah Elishev and Batya Schlesinger. Fatzloch and Simcha for Yol Yudah ben Devora. Elishev Mir and Bas Chana and Batya Bas Elishev Mir. There is time for a 30-second story. Famous Maisa, I gotta say, because I heard this when I was a kid. And Mamsh made a roshim on me then. The lion told his son, he says, listen, you have nothing to fear. We are the strongest here in the safari. Every animal is scared of us. So the son comes running back to the father. He says, I don't understand. I just went into the city and I saw a giant statue of a guy with like long hair tearing open a lion, ripping apart. So the father says, you don't understand. The reason they made it into a statue is because it only happened one time in history. It's not like something that happens every day. If it happened every day, you don't make a statue out of it. It was a one-time thing. Don't worry. That was by Shimshon, whatever. It's a one-time thing. And what he was saying is, like, I remember the guy, the Rebbe that said this, I was maybe 10, 11 years old. And it made a rosh, and he said, sometimes people say, oh, you could smoke. My grandfather was 96 years old and he smoked a pack of cigarettes every day of his life. He says, yeah. That was a one-time thing. Typically speaking, that you don't live that long when you smoke. Anyway, Rabbi Sai, have a wonderful day.
Merit the schus of spreading Torah throughout the world. Sponsor a shir today. MDYsponsor.com or sponsor at MDYDaf.com.